Incoming transmission.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas!
Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion on the 17th of December. Yes, we are creeping ever closer to the big day. And what better way to celebrate Christmas than with a bit of blood and gore and Mortal Kombat on the Amiga. So this is going to be quite good fun. It's playing on an Amiga 1200 hard drive, by the way. So things are a little bit zippier than they should be. Done by Midway, released in 1994, so it's quite a late entry, so to speak. Now, we had a look at Final Fight the other day. I'm going to see if this arcade conversion's any better. I've stuck it all on easy because, quite frankly, I suck at fighting games, and being a joystick with only one button, that probably isn't going to change. But I thought we'll have a look at Mortal Kombat, see how it compares to the arcade, see how it compares to the SNES. You know the score. So we're going to, who should we have? I think Scorpion. Why not? So you got your combat tree as you can see here, which is very reminiscent of the arcade, which is great. Oh, the backgrounds are all cool as well, and there's Reptile, who was a hidden character, I believe, in the first game. You know what? I'm really quite impressed already. Despite the fact you've only got one button, it's quite easy to execute the maneuvers. So it's like backfire to use your spear. He has got a teleport, but it doesn't seem to want to do it. But never mind. Oh, nice little graphics glitch there. That might be because I'm playing it on a 1200 and a hard drive, perhaps. I don't know. But it's that's a graphics glitch. I'm not sure why it's there. So I do apologise if that's going to happen every single time. But I'm impressed that the blood has been kept intact. That's very nice. You know what? It's a really good effort from the Amiga. I'm quite impressed. And it's got quite a nice set of samples from the arcade machine as well. Not sure what's up with that glitch. It's a bit strange. Oh wow, it's not hindering my gameplay any. So see, now we're off to fight Sub-Zero. And we're in a different background now. So the background from the arcades has also stayed intact, which is great to see. It seems like they've pulled out all the stops for this on the Amiga, which is great. I actually had this back in the day, a big box game as well, big box game. I think it was 2 discs, if I remember rightly. This is done through WHD Load, by the way. You can now get that for free on the website. So if you want to go and check that out for yourself, go and grab yourself a free copy of WHD Load, and you can put your own games on your Amiga hard drive. So there we are. Now, I've got to say, the animation frames are fairly good, and it's quite smooth, which is always nice to see when you're doing an arcade conversion. I mean, Final Fight was a bit meh, but this is actually pretty much on point, which is nice to see. Now, you can execute various moves by various joystick combinations, being that you, like... Oh, that's horrible, isn't it? Never mind. I'm going to persevere through that glitch, but never mind. You get the idea anyway. It still looks gorgeous. They've done a really good job with this. And I mean a really good job. The character digitization is really nice. They haven't lost too much of the arcade. I mean, I don't know if there was ever an AGA version of this, but that could probably have tidied up the graphics a little bit on the fighters. But you know what? It's a pretty damn good version of the game. I'm actually really quite impressed. It's better than I remember it being, that's for sure. And it's nice to see that all the fighters are there as well. So you got Liu Kang, Raiden, Kano, Sonya, Johnny Cage, and they're in the background, Goro as well. So great effort, really, really good. They did Mortal Kombat 2 on the Amiga as well, but I don't think I ever got around to playing that on that console. On that computer. I was thinking of the SNES then. I did have MK2 on the SNES as well, which was absolutely fabulous, by the way. Something on my to-do list coming soon. It is very, very good. But for the Amiga, this is actually really nice. Considering the piss poor attempt at Street Fighter 2, we're looking at a really nice conversion here. So in fact, I might be looking at Street Fighter 2 as well this week. Shall we have an arcade week this week? The Amiga arcade, that'd be quite cool. Street Fighter 2, possibly coming next. Let's get all the beat 'em ups out of the way, or at least let's get final fight we've done. Now we've got Mortal Kombat out of the way. Street Fighter 2, I think we should do next. What would you say for my third and final game of the week? Any suggestions? Leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear what arcade conversion you'd like to see. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a beat 'em up, by the way. It could be New Zealand Story. Could be Bubble Bobble. I'll leave it up to you. Most votes wins type scenario. So if somebody puts a game name in the comments and you agree with that, then give it a like or comment yourself. And a witch just flew past the moon. Fun. So now we are playing with Raiden, and he's got a cool moveset. Now the thing you'll notice with this is that the screen can't keep up with Raiden either, which is quite fun. His attacks are actually identical to the arcade, which is quite nice as well. The lightning looks a bit shoddy, but we can forgive that. We can forgive that. There's the witch going past on the. That's just what a nice little touch that is. Now this one you can do pit fatalities on, I believe, if I remember rightly, which is quite nice. Let's see if we can execute. And I think, if I remember rightly, you don't even need to do a combination. You just do an uppercut, and they go flying into the pit. Let's give it a try. Take that, and down he goes. But there's no heads on spikes. That's a shame. Never mind. Just a tiny little thing there. But you can also play 2 players. That's another thing with this game. You can play 2 players. Against each other, obviously. There's no team in this one, which is a shame. But at this point, I don't think team games actually existed back then. At this point, anyway, I think that sort of the Capcom games started to introduce those, Marvel vs. Street Fighter and all that kind of thing. That's when those things started to come into the arcade with beat 'em ups, like the tag team element, and that sort of thing. But if you want to beat the crap out of your mates legally, then a bit of Mortal Kombat. There's that glitch again. How strange. But all the finishers are intact. I just don't know how to do them. So, sorry about that. But you get an idea. There's Shang Tsung sitting on his throne at the back. It just looks like a bit of a garbled mess. You lose a bit of the definition from the arcade. A bit of the quality has gone. But you've got to expect that. You know, they've put a lot of the effort into the actual fighters. The backgrounds are nicely drawn as well. So, all in all, you've got a fairly accurate representation of Mortal Kombat here. And, you know, that's not a bad thing at all. Negatives, well, the sound effects aren't great, but you can tell that they are from the arcade. And to be fair, the arcade sound effects weren't exactly hunky-dory either. Yeah, I think if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, I think you'd be fairly happy with this game. And being able to play against your mates as well. It's just a no-brainer, really. A few beers, pizza, Mortal Kombat, can't go wrong. Great game. And we'll be looking at the sequels as well over time, because I have reviewed Mortal Kombat 1, I believe, on the arcade already. So if you want to go back through that and have a look, it will be there somewhere. But this has been Mortal Kombat on the Amiga, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed going back and playing this one. But yeah, Street Fighter 2 I think we'll try next, if I can stomach it, and I'll dig it out of the archives. But yes, leave me a comment on what you'd like to see for the third and final game of the week, and I will get on with that. So, as always, thanks very much for tuning in, folks. It's always appreciated. Hello to new subscribers. Hello to existing subscribers. You guys are awesome. And I hope you're all ready for Christmas and you can just chill out over the next week. Anyway, that's it from me. I'll catch you again soon. So you keep it retro, and bye for now!